The Bulldogs just keep on winning. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Coconut Cowboy Bandera football show as the Bulldogs get their first playoff win since 2007. Boy, it's been a season of first in a long times, and that's when these type of seasons are absolutely a blast. And it's just fun to see that this season keeps on rolling. It was a little dicey there, man. Watching the scores during the first half, we were down watching Belleville and West Orange start. Boy, that was a donkey stomping, as we like to say on sideline to sideline. And following that score, and it's 26-20 at halftime, I'm thinking, man, I wasn't really expecting this to be a blowout. I wasn't really expecting this to be a shootout, not blowout. I wasn't expecting it to be in the 40s, and that looked like where it was headed. But that second half by that Bulldog defense, holding Gerald to just 7 points, amazing. And as Coach will say, it wasn't just the defense, that offense playing great complementary football with the defense. And that's one of those things in today's football especially is so important. When your offense can go out there, run some time off the clock, especially when you're playing a team like the Cougars who can be really explosive, exactly how this team that you're going to be playing this week in the Ingleside, who have a really good wide receiver. Y'all literally went up against maybe the two best or two at least underrated best wide receivers in 4A Division II. I mean, Silsby still got Miller, and there's a couple others, Noah Birdsong at Wimberley and such. And in fact, if you do what you should this week and win, you're going up against another great wide receiver. And it's been a great test for that Bandera secondary. But again, offense going out, getting key first downs, grinding out the clock, limiting an explosive offense, their chances. Because even though Gerald has been explosive this year, they've also been very inconsistent. And so you want to take as many chances away from them as you possibly could. And that's what this offense did. The defense played well. You move on. And again, you're playing an Ingleside team that is a lot like Gerald. I think a little bit more consistent. That's why they were 10-1, or that's why they're 10-1. But also, and we talked about this on Sideline to Sideline, the Class 4A show. You can hear each and every week at S2S Grant and Terry, as Grant Goodwin and I talk the state in 4A, 3A, and 2A. You can also find us on YouTube at L4 Media Company. And by the way, if you didn't know, the audio of this show is also on YouTube. It automatically loads. So if you ever, you can't find the link to this week's show or even next year, because, we're going to continue Bandera Coach's show next year. This has been a blast. And you can't remember the link or you can't find it, just remember, hey, they're on YouTube at L4 Media. And if you like and subscribe over there, you'll get an update. But anyway, as Grant and I were talking, Ingleside's in that pocket in this region that's not the strongest. Y'all do have two common opponents. Both of y'all beat Carrizo Springs and Robstown. Scores are kind of similar. Not the Carrizo Springs game, but like he points out, Carrizo was a district game for Bandera, and so they were throttling down, getting ready for the playoffs. That was the last non-district game for Ingleside, so you're getting more of them, trying to be explosive and score as many points as they can and work on their offense till they got into district. But this is going to be a tough offense. Might be consistently the toughest offense that Bandera has played this year. When you look on the year, again, the opponents matter, but still, when you're scoring 57, 58, 43, 57, 45, 69, 61, 58, 44, and 50, you've got an offense that can score. Now, against Sinton, a decent defense, I do want to point out, they struggled. And we all know how good this defense is for Bandera. All right, we're going to do what we always do, of course, and that is talk to the head coach of Bandera, Coach Joe Fontenot-Amity. We'll talk about the big win. We'll talk about what it means for the program to get this first district win or playoff win since 2007. And how do they recalibrate and go from there? But before we do that, we want to thank our sponsor, and that, of course, is Coconut Cowboys. They have everything you want when it comes to frozen yogurt, specialty and boba teas, coffee, snacks, candies, gift shop. They also have vacation rentals. They have it all there, and it has been an absolute blast being the title sponsor for them. Also, by the way, you can also give them a call at 304-444-0199 if you have any questions. They are also located at 410 Main Street right there in Bandera, but of course you all know that. Hey, if you go in there, check out our banner. It's the logo that we use for the coaches show. And that was donated to us by our title sponsor, SI Design and Printing. That's literally the very first banner we've ever done for a Coach's Show title sponsor, and I think it's really, really cool. And that was the idea of Coconut Cowboys. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's the head coach of the Bulldogs, Coach Joe Fontenot-Amity, right here on the Coconut Cowboys Bandera Football Show on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media.
Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español.
Terry Bennett back here on the Coconut Cowboy Bandera Football Show, now joined by the head coach of the Bulldogs, Coach Joe Fontenot-Amity. And, Coach, congratulations not only on the playoff win, but once again, this team is doing things that Bandera hasn't done in a long time. The first playoff win since 2007. You got to tell me, it had to feel good.
Oh, man, it's been unbelievable. What a ride, and what a journey for the kids and the seniors. And, man, it was a great win. And beautiful San Marcos Stadium. Stadium was an awesome venue. And just a great night for us.
Well, and we have talked about this guy all year long, but Jesse Cardenas once again just doing everything that he needs to do to make sure that y'all are going to get the win. Another great game by him.
Oh, yeah, man, he's special. You know, and I think I said it before. They call the times when there's not a Cardenas in the backfield in Bandera the dark ages. So every time we've got those jokers in the backfield, man, we seem to be pretty successful here in Bandera America. So, man, just so proud of him. And we had some one-on-one conversations after last year about focusing and what it was going to take, and you know, without getting too much into what was said, the powerful part was he said, "Coach, I'm going to do whatever it takes. We're going to win a playoff game." And so for him to buy in and get his teammates to buy in and be a captain, and you talk about a guy with 60 touchdowns in his career, and majority of those come in the last 2 years. 200 and plus tackles and 5 interceptions, double-digit sacks. Just a incredible kid and player to be around. And you know, you see him stand next to him, and it's not going to, you know, he's not somebody you fear. But you get on the field, you turn the film on, you better fear him a little bit.
Well, and you said it. It's not only what he does on the field; it's how he leads this team. But you talk about, you know, y'all had a conversation about in the offseason, and I think for me, the big leap that he has made from last year to this year, and he was electric last year, he's been just more consistent this year.
Yeah, well, it's a big jump going from running back to quarterback. Yep. And, you know, first year, he threw the ball a couple of times last year, but I mean, that's you talk about a kid with 20 plus touchdowns to 5 interceptions as a senior, his first time playing quarterback, and what it takes to learn a system and make your reads and be able to progress through and read coverages. And you're talking about the matter of months. It's really impressive, man. And he's done an awesome job taking care of the football and leading our guys. And, you know, we always tell him, man, you don't have to be Superman. Sometimes Clark Kent works, and just run our offense. We got good players, and he's really done that about the last month, man. Super proud of that guy.
Yeah, another core group, in my opinion, on your offense has been that offensive line. As great as he was, the whole team ran the ball well against Gerald.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And, you know, I turn the film on, and obviously the guy who gets the most yards is going to get the most accolades, but Jesse would be the first to tell you how well our offensive line's done. And then we've got a running back in Juan Cabrera he'll pound you, and then he'll make you feel it when he's blocking too. And he's really special. And we got receivers hopping in there to block and run the ball. And it's just an unselfish group, and whatever it takes to win, whether we're throwing the ball 25 times or we're throwing it, 10 times, they are selfless, and it's really special to be around a group of players who only care about each other and winning.
Defensively, we talked about Gerald. They're an explosive team, a little inconsistent, but they can hit you with big plays. You saw that in that first half. It looked like it was going to be a shootout, but y'all came out in the second half defensively and shut them down to get where they only got one touchdown.
We made good adjustments at halftime, and a big part of that was we had to make a decision that we're going to slow the game down offensively and try to keep them off the field. And, I think we did a great job of that, especially in the fourth quarter. We had one drive we chewed up about 6 or 7 minutes with intention of, hey, we're going to keep these dudes off the field as much as possible. And then we did a great job up front in the box of slowing them down for the majority of the night and making big plays, sacks, and interceptions, and had to create a couple turnovers, and defense did a great job. And to me, thinking back all the way to my college playing days, and great defenses aren't necessarily ones that have shutouts or pop off on the stat line. The great defenses are ones that get stops and make plays when they have to win the game. And that's what ours has done all year.
Yeah, that's a great point. Grant Goodwin and I talk about this all the time on our state show that, in today's era especially, it's not about, holding teams to negative 200 yards or anything like that. It's about getting off the field one time in the first half, one time in the second half, a turnover, and usually you're going to win those games.
And we talk a lot about, hey, make them snap it again. Don't give up a big play. Make them snap it again. Make them snap it again. We're high school kids, and they're high school kids, and make them snap and try to be perfect. And we're going to be physical and see what happens.
All right. I get to say this for the first time since 2007. You move on to the second round, and you take on a team, Ingleside. As you and I were talking off the air before we started recording, they kind of mirror the team you just beat in Gerald. When you look at Ingleside, what stands out?
Getting the ball, and their quarterback's a special player as well. So, immediately I think about offensively, and heck, all those guys similar to us turn around and play defense too. So they've got a great secondary who keep the ball in front of them and make plays, and the quarterback / safety is a good football player too. And they structurally and kind of what they do is very similar to Gerald, but they're explosive, and we're looking forward to a great game on Friday night. I'll tell you that the conversation we've had with our kids this week has been, hey, we set goals, and we set a goal to win, and we set a goal to win a playoff game, and you did that. Now we're recalibrating. Our goal is to go to play a football game Thanksgiving week, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, that's always one of the foundation goals for teams. And you do bring up a good point, though. Y'all did have the goal of hey, let's win a district championship. Check. Let's win a playoff game for the first time since 2007. Check. Is there any concern that there might be we've reached our goals for this year, or do you feel that they have recalibrated and now are pointing at they want to play on Thanksgiving weekend?
No, I think our kids are so excited to be playing football and getting better every single day. I would say that the response to that conversation on Monday has been phenomenal. We've locked in and practiced all week, and we're very excited at the opportunity to get to play again next week.
Well, you and I were talking, y'all have a couple of common opponents. How much do you watch those films, the film of Ingleside against Robstown and Ingleside against Carrizo Springs?
Not very much. Both of those games we watched probably the Robstown more than Carrizo because Carrizo was so long ago.
Yeah.
But, and certainly we know the score. We had a big halftime lead versus Carrizo and set our guys down in the second half because, we're preparing for the playoffs and they I don't know how to say it any other way, but Ingleside they score a lot of points, man, and in bunches. And
yep.
That thing rolls, and it rolls when it's late, and it rolls, man. So we watched a good amount of the Robstown film and their district film.
Here at L4 Media, we talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie, and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. And you can see it all on our YouTube channel at L4 Media Company. Like and subscribe.
As always, we want to thank the head coach of the Bulldogs, Coach Joe Fontenot-Amity, for joining us here on the Coconut Cowboy Bandera Football Show. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, email them to me, Terry, at S2SSport.com. Again, if the Bulldogs win, of course, we'll be doing a show next week. If they lose, we will do a wrap-up show after the state championship week. I usually like to do it that week of Christmas or maybe the week after, depending on, coaches' schedule. Some coaches are, they're staying around home for Christmas and some are traveling. So, it all depends on their schedule, of course. One thing I wanted to point out, and I actually forgot to do this right when I started recording the close or the wraps. And so I'm actually recording this separate and going to insert it in. As I was asking him about Ingleside, he had some cell issues today. So you might not have heard the name, but Jaden Smith, their wide receiver / corner, he's their kind of do-everything guy. They're going to do everything they can to get him the ball. He's got a younger brother. I think he's younger. They might be the same age. I can't remember. And Jordan Smith, he's pretty explosive as well. And so I don't know if you got to hear that because, again, there was some cell issues at certain points. So I just know that name, Jaden Smith and Jordan Smith, but especially Jaden Smith. He is a special athlete, and he's kind of like that Gerald wide receiver. Maybe not as big, but I think about the same on the explosiveness. Also, I do want to go ahead and start this promotion. Realignments this year. We always do interviews with all the coaches that we do shows for on realignment. And also we will have, a bunch of realignment shows coming out in February whenever that hits. So just be looking forward to that. Also, state championship stuff. We're going to be, of course, doing pregame shows for the 2A, the 3A, the 4A, and also postgame shows for those games as well. We're also going to be doing live watch parties. You can join me on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitch, all of those. And we can and we'll watch the game together. It's fun. Intern Noe and I have been doing, or we did it on Outdrank the Coverage, and we had a blast. In fact, if you like the NFL, Intern Noe and I will be doing the same thing this Monday night for the Kansas City Philadelphia game. We're going to do a watch party at YouTube at L4 Media, also on Facebook, Sideline to Sideline, and Outdrank the Coverage. Hey, it's fun being in the second round again, isn't it? That first round's a blast, but to me, the second round's where you kind of start to lock in and you're starting to see the teams that are you've earned that second round. You didn't get in because you were the fourth team in a 4-team district, or you were the fourth team in a 5-team district, and the fifth team was 0-10, and you're 1-9. So this is when the football gets legitimately real. And this is going to be a great matchup. I told him before we started recording, and I said it last night on our 4A show, which is up now. You can hear Grant Goodwin and I pick every game, S2S Grant and Terry.com. I think this is one of the closest games in round 2 of all of 4A. And I think it's going to be a really, really good game. So no matter what happens, enjoy that this has been a great season. Bandera has announced themselves back in the region. Now they're trying to take that next step and become a region threat. And then if you do that, you then become a state threat. And that's how it works. And it's not always immediate. It's a process, and it's fun to be at the beginning of that process. So enjoy the game. Be safe if you're going. And until next week, this has been the Coconut Cowboys Bandera Bulldog Football Show right here on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media.